Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinics, with physicians, physical therapists, and trainers who treat sports and performance-related injuries, with locations across the valley. More information on services and locations at stalphonsus.org/stayactive.
Idaho is a big state, and it covers a lot of territory. Idaho Matters wants to take you to every corner of the Gem State by visiting all 44 counties, and we need your help to do that. Email us your story ideas at idahomatters@boisestate.edu for our new series we're calling Idaho 44. And be sure to join us each weekday at noon and 8 on Idaho Matters and travel the state with us.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's daily news. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. We've got plenty to share with you today, including details on a fast-moving fire in the city of Eagle, a proposal for a new autopsy facility, Treefort turns a profit, and the heat is back on. It is Tuesday, the 19th of August. I'm George Prentice, and here we go. A quick-moving wildfire had some residents in Eagle evacuate their homes on Monday. The fast-moving fire required a Level 1 Go Now alert for residents living north of Beacon Light Road, west of State Highway 55. Fire crews were able to knock down the fire. The evacuation order was lifted. Fire crews remained on the scene through the night. A task force is proposing a new autopsy facility in eastern Idaho. That as one way to improve the state's death investigation system. James Dawson reports.
Ada and Canyon counties are home to Idaho's only pathology labs. That means coroners in other counties have to drive their bodies sometimes hours away for an autopsy. A task force made up of law enforcement and coroners studying Idaho's death investigation system proposed building a new lab in eastern Idaho to help ease that burden. Some suggested partnering with hospitals, but Chief Deputy Ada County Coroner Brett Harding says those relationships can be strained by the job's sometimes gritty nature, like handling decomposed bodies.
Every problem I've ever had with doing forensic autopsies in a hospital is one, cooler space, and two, the first time we bring a decomp in there, they're like, we didn't sign up for this. And they ended up getting booted out.
Idaho ranks last nationally for conducting autopsies involving children, according to a 2024 state report. The group is considering legislation mandating them. They hope to finalize their recommendations this fall before the legislature reconvenes in January. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
Brandon Durst, the controversial ex-Idaho legislator, is back in the news and apparently back in the education business. You'll remember that Durst, for a while, was a superintendent of the West Bonner School District in North Idaho. His tenure was framed by raucous school board meetings, the recall of 2 trustees, and the State Board of Education saying he wasn't qualified to be superintendent. He resigned and filed a lawsuit against the school district. Now, Idaho Ed News is reporting that Durst is back, this time with a plan for a school in the Treasure Valley. He appeared before the Idaho Public Charter School Commission looking for approval for a school that he calls Brabion, which is a Greek word. It also appears in the Bible, referring to the heavenly reward for Christian faithfulness. Durst said the school has a variety of concepts: athletics, a hybrid of virtual and in-person instruction, and what Durst said would be occasional gender segregation. Durst said the school would be located in Nampa, and while they haven't yet secured a location, he said they have their sights set on a former Macy's store. Idaho Ed News reports that the State Charter Commission approved a 3-year authorization with a number of conditions, including securing a location by next March and providing evidence of a balanced budget by June 2026. This year's Treefort turned a profit for the first time since 2019. The economic impact of the 5-day spring music festival in downtown Boise is also on the rise, as Julie Lucatau reports.
A report released by the Idaho Policy Institute in partnership with Treefort Music Fest estimates the 2025 event injected $15.8 million into the economy and generated about $1.4 million in local and federal taxes.
Not only is this the first year in a while that they've been in the black, but economically they're having a really positive impact on both the region and the state as a whole.
That's Vanessa Fry, author of the report and BSU professor at the School of Public Service. She says about 47% of attendees are out-of-towners, spending more on hotels, transportation, and food.
Those people that we're drawing into the region are going to be responsible for more than half the economic impact of the fest.
Fry says service industry workers and local businesses benefited the most from this economic boost. This year's festival saw a roughly 20% increase in attendance, and it was also the highest grossing festival since it started in 2012. Julie Luguetta, Boise State Public Radio News.
Jackson McFarland is over at the National Weather Service office in Boise. Jackson, good morning.
Good morning, George. How are you?
I'm well. There's a rumor going around that it's going to be pretty warm today. What can you tell us?
Well, that's a pretty well-verifiable rumor.
Okay.
It's looking like high temperatures today are going to be in the high 90s throughout most of the Snake Plain. Some mountain valleys, high 80s, so noticeably cooler, but still pretty warm relative to what they normally see. And that's all due to a building high-pressure system over the Four Corners. We're heading into a fairly typical summertime monsoon setup.
Are we threatening any record high temperatures this week?
It's not looking like we're going to be threatening any.
Okay.
I'm looking at my data here. Maybe Friday, we've got a daily high temperature record of 101 in Boise, and our forecast high is 98. So we'll be approaching it, but we're still looking to be a few degrees below the records. Okay,
so walk us through the rest of this week and then as we look toward the weekend.
Sure. Well, like I mentioned, the main feature is going to be that Four Corners high pressure setup. What that does is a clockwise flow around that high in the Four Corners drags up really warm moisture from the Gulf of California and the southern portions of the West Coast up into the Great Basin and into southwest Idaho and southeast Oregon. So while most of this week through about Friday is looking fairly dry and warm, by this weekend we're going to start to get a little bit of that moisture into the area. We're looking at between a 15 to 30% chance of thunderstorms on August 24th, Sunday, and August 25th, Monday. So things are looking a little more active.
I think we could use a shower or two right now.
Absolutely, yeah, with all the fires starting to kick off.
Exactly. He is Jackson McFarland at the National Weather Service office here in Boise. Jackson, have a good Tuesday.
Thank you, George. You too.
And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. We will see you back here on Wednesday. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. And thanks for listening.